Hi, and welcome to another episode of Your Conversation Starter, where I like to discuss different news events or topics that you can take away and start a conversation with someone with. This is not some self-help thing about how to talk to girls or whatever. As soon as humans realize that we're all the same, it'll make that a lot easier. Now, I come from 8 brothers and sisters, so I'm familiar with either sex and how the nuances kind of work between us. But this particular channel is about just interesting things that happen around the world. I try to focus on either the strange or positive. There's enough negative stuff in the news. We don't need that. But hopefully you can come away with something that's interesting to talk about. Strike up a conversation with someone either you don't know or you do. So anyway, let's dig in. There's a couple things I want to touch on in this particular video. One, this is kind of crazy. So apparently in New York City, there is a string of gray squirrel attacks. Now, I learned a lot about gray squirrels in this article. Apparently, a typical gray squirrel can travel at 15 miles per hour and jump 8 feet. So that's kind of a really cool fact about the tiny little rodents. They're all over the place here where I'm from. And anyway, in New York City, in Rego Park, there's been 20 police reports made up about different people being attacked by these gray squirrels. So the city had to bring in wildlife experts to try and figure out, why are the squirrels attacking people? This is very uncommon for a squirrel to go up to a human. Typically, they like to keep away from everybody. But they tested a couple squirrels that they caught. There's no rabies. I guess they're just rather territorial squirrels. They're New York squirrels, I guess. And maybe with COVID-19 keeping people away from each other, more people are out to be by themselves in the park and what have you. And maybe the squirrels just don't like all the extra attention in the park. Who knows? But if you're in Rego Park in Queens, New York, keep an eye peeled for the squirrels, because they're after you. The next thing I found, we skip across the pond, as they say, over to England. There's this fad that I've been watching a number of times. It's really cool, and it's called magnet fishing. And what you do is you take a very powerful magnet and you put it at the end of a very strong rope, sometimes a chain, and you go to popular waterways. I guess in Europe, I've been to Germany a couple times. They have these channels that go through the town, and people throw all manner of thing into these waterways. So there's a popular hobby is the only thing I can think of to call it, where people use magnets and they toss it into the water and they trudge the bottom and they pull it up and see what they catch. Typically you get like bicycles and baskets and shopping carts and that kind of thing, anything that'll stick. There has been occasion where some people will get rare coins and things, like really old stuff. Well, on December 23rd, police in the bomb squad responded to a river in the outskirts of a British city after a magnet fisherman reeled in 19 World War II era grenades from a body of water. 19. Che Williams said that he was using magnets to search for metal debris in the River Tame at a location just outside of Birmingham when he pulled the first grenade out of the water. He said he remained in the same spot and pulled a total of 19 grenades. The magnet fisherman noticed 2 of the grenades still had the pins in them, leading him to contact the police. Now, the police evacuated the area and an explosive ordnance disposal unit arrived at the scene and investigated all the grenades. They used x-rays on the devices and determined that they did not contain any explosive detonators. So I guess someone just had a bunch of shelled out grenades. I know there was a while back where people were using them as paperweights and things because it was like this whole danger thing and common stuff around your house. It's a talking point, conversation starter in your house. Have this grenade on your desk. That's since been ruled illegal, at least where I'm from. You can't have anything like that around. And so somebody dumped it in the water and he found it. So that's kind of cool. There you go. There you go. So next. What's the next one I got? This one. I love this one. Now back across over to the US in Vermont. There's a home for sale. This is December 30th. And I try, when I get my sources here, I go to routers. And this is upi.com. So this is kind of like a feed of general news that a lot of newspapers and stuff draw from. So there you go. I'm not just making this up. Whether or not it's fake, whatever, it's up for you to decide. I'm just gonna report it because it's curious. And this is a curious one. There is a house for sale in Vermont that includes 7 jail cells? Yeah, you heard right. A home for sale in Vermont is garnering the attention online for its unusual feature. This is a feature now. 7 jail cells in what was formerly a county jail. The home in Guildhall, listed for sale on Realtor.com, served as the jailer's residence before it ceased operation as the Essex County Jail in 1969. The jail, attached to the northern wall of the home, includes 7 cells with barred windows. The jail still exhibits the original prison cells and bar windows in the jailer's office. The home, listed for $149,000, also includes 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and an updated kitchen with stainless steel appliances. So, if you need a house with jail cells, which just seems really fundamentally wrong why this is allowed to be, like, the purpose of a jail cell is to put someone in there confined against their will. And so to think this is set up where some nutball could just buy this house and start putting people in there with little effort. I mean, I'm sure it takes some effort to catch people, but like, he doesn't need to modify his home. It's ready to go. It just seems like that's nuts, and they should change that. I don't know. At any rate, you got a couple things there to start conversations with. Go forth and speak. Be social. Enjoy the day. Stay social, folks.